Hey, 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 good morning. Um, it is so beautiful outside, and I'm kind of bumming that my Wi Fi will not allow me to go outside so I can share the beauty of the day with you. So, today we're going to talk a little bit about embracing your quirkiness. And what does that mean? Um, if anyone was to have a conversation with either one of my children, they would tell you that one of the things that we like to do as a family is we enjoy giving each other experiences. So I'm going to say a couple. My memory's not as good as it used to be. Probably 4 or 5 years ago, my son had gifted his sister with tickets to go see the Bruins down in Boston. So we traveled to Boston. We took the train. We got down there. We had an amazing time at the game. First thing that I noticed, however, was when we went to sit down, they just kind of looked at me and smiled and giggled a little and said, "You can go in and sit beside those people." And I'm like, "Well, why are you putting me on the end?" "Well, Mom, because we know that by the time the game is ended, you're going to know all about those people because you talk to everybody." And I'm like, "Okay, is that a bad thing?" They're not that social. And a lot of my friends are the same way. We'd fly and I would just chat with people on the plane. I don't think I was that annoying person that never stopped talking on the plane. I could have been. Anyway, this story goes, the game was over, we were leaving, and they were hurrying in front of me. They were trying to get something to eat before we had to leave to go on the train to come home. And I wasn't hurrying as I exited down the stairs, and I remember turning to the left. There was a um, a beautiful young lady standing there with this really nice looking jacket on. And she was holding what appeared to be a cookie jar. But around the cookie jar was a really cool panorama of TD Garden. And all I did was walk by and say, "That's a really cool cookie jar." And she immediately goes, "Do you want it?" And I was like, no, I just was letting you know that was really cool. Okay, my children were not there. They were ahead of me. But I was ended up talking to the lady because she was telling me that she worked for a corporation in Boston and they hosted events there. And this is probably the fourth or fifth event recently. And she had plenty of cookie jars at home. And, she was looking to kind of get rid of it. So she was offering it to me. And my children had turned around and come back because they're like, oh, I found out later they're thinking to themselves, who's mom talking to now? And when they came back, I said, hey, um, this lady has this cookie jar that she wants to give to me. Do you want it? All of a sudden, both of my kids' eyes lit up. They're like, yeah, that's really cool. I love it. So we graciously accepted and we offered to pay for it. And, of course, she didn't want any money for it. But afterwards, we enjoyed the jar full of cookies on our train ride home. And in conversing about it, in remembering it, the cool thing about it is, I mean, obviously we got a really cool cookie jar, but it reminded me of my own quirkiness and the joy that sometimes I get from my own quirkiness. I Universe brings people into your awareness through different means, different ways, different avenues all the time. Um, you just need to be open to those that are crossing in your path and, chatting with them, And it can be something as simple as walking by somebody and saying, that's a nice shirt. That's a good color for you. I do it all the time. Don't ask me why I do it. And I stopped asking myself why I do it. I just do. Um, I know there have been times when people have said that to me, and I'm like, oh, you gotta, perk up a little bit. So last night we celebrated my friend Bears. He's getting ready to go off on follow his passion, and his friendship evolved from one of my quirky moments. I walked into Flourish, really wasn't sure why I was there, and he was making jewelry and dream catchers, and I just went over and started chatting with him. And 2.5 hours later, and now 6 months later, I've met an amazing young man um, who we share a lot of things in common. And I got to help celebrate him yesterday, and he's going off to follow his passion. And so through that friendship, I learned I learned a lot about myself and other people. And, I'm going to encourage you to do the same thing. There's always a lesson out there that the universe is sending you or giving you. It's a gift. So embrace your quirkiness, and allow yourself to have those conversations with people that you probably never really would chat with. You never know how amazing it can be then someone touches your life and you have the opportunity to touch their life as well. So have a great Wednesday, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Bye.